Let's solve this question. We have been given an IP address, as you can see. So 192.168, this is the dotted decimal notation, and this /28 represents my subnet mask. So /28 means there are 28 ones in my subnet mask and 4 zeros. Why 4 zeros? Because we are using IPv4 addressing, and IPv4 we have 32 bits in all. So if I take 28 bits for my network ID portion, then 4 bits are left from my host ID. So in my subnet mask, I'll get 28 ones and the remaining 4 bits will be zeros. And we are being asked to find 3 things: the range of valid hosts, the network address, and the directed broadcast address. So range of valid hosts means the range of IP addresses that we can find for the network of which this host is a part. See, this IP address represents the address of a host, right? So this host will be part of a network, and we are trying to find the total number of valid IP addresses or the total number of valid hosts that are present in this network. And we are also trying to find the network address. The network address refers to the address of the entire network. That means the address using which a network can be identified. And the directed broadcast address. The directed broadcast address will help us to broadcast a packet to all hosts present in another network. See, broadcasting is of 2 types. Let's say I have a network here, and this network has a number of hosts, right? And I have another network here. So this is my network A and this is my network B. Even network B has a few hosts. If a host present in network A, let's say this host, wants to transmit a single packet, the same packet, to all hosts in the same network, then what it will do is, in the destination address part, it will place this address. It will place 255.255.255.255. So this will help this host to transmit the same packet to all other hosts present in the same network as itself. So this address is known as a limited broadcast address, because this process of transmitting the same packet to all hosts present in the same network is known as limited broadcasting. And if this host wants to transmit a packet, the same packet, to all hosts present in a different network, that means it wants to transmit a packet to this, to this, to this, to this, as well as to this. So this host, which is present in network A, wants to transmit the same packet to all hosts present in another network B, then it will use a special address known as directed broadcast address in the destination address part of the packet that it is sending, and it will help, and that will help it to forward the packet to all hosts present in another network. This type of broadcasting is known as directed broadcasting. Sending it to all hosts in the same network is known as limited broadcasting. Sending it to all hosts present in another network is known as directed broadcasting. So having understood these points, what we'll do is we'll move on to solving this question. So I'll erase the board. I hope you have noted down the question. Only one piece of information has been given to us, which is the IP address. Using this IP address, we will be able to find all 3 parameters that have been asked for. So let's see how we can do this. So the IP address that is given to us is 192.168.10.32. Now in this IP address, I can see that there is a /28. This is known as the CIDR notation. This is known as the CIDR notation. CIDR stands for Classless Inter-Domain Routing. Using CIDR notation, we are able to convey a lot of information using simply one IP address. We are not only able to mention the IP address of a particular host, but we are also able to find the subnet mask for this particular host. And the subnet mask will have 28 ones. So if the subnet mask has 28 ones, in the first 3 octets we get, so I'm trying to find the subnet mask. The subnet mask will have 28 ones. So that's 8 plus 16 plus 24 dot. Now if I have 4 ones in the last octet, the remaining 4 bits will be all zeros. And if you convert this into decimal, what you get is 128, 192, 224, 240, right? 128, this is 2 to the power of 7, 2 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of 5. So that's 128 plus 64, 192, 194, 204, 14, 24, and plus 16, 240, right? So it's 240 dot 240. This is my subnet mask. This is my subnet mask. So from this IP address, we have found the subnet mask. And what is that special feature of subnet mask? You take any IP address. You take this IP address and you perform bitwise ANDing. You perform bitwise AND operation. You perform bitwise AND operation with the subnet mask. What you get is the network address. So I'll take the IP address, which is 192.168.10.32. I'll represent 32 in binary form. So I get 128, 64, 32, right? So 32, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my 32, right? This is my 32. And this part I get is 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot. Now 240 I'll represent in binary. So it's 128, 192, 224, 240. And the remaining will be all zeros. Yeah, that's all. So if you perform bitwise AND operation, see, if you perform a bitwise AND, 255 represents 8 ones. If you perform AND operation with all ones, you get back the number itself. I am performing AND operation of 192 with 255, which is nothing but all ones. So any number you take and you perform an AND operation with all ones, you get the number itself. So I get back here, I get 192. Here I get again 168. Here I get 10. And here I'll get, see, here I'll perform bitwise AND operation. So I'll get 0 here. Here again I get a 0. Here I get a 1. And then all are zeros. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you convert this binary pattern into decimal, what you get is, so the entire address is 192.168.10. This is 128. This is 64, 32. So you get back 32 itself, right? Yeah. You get back 32 itself. So this is my network address. This is my network address. Remember, in a block of addresses, the first address is always chosen to be the network address, and the last address is chosen to be the directed broadcast address. I found the network address. Now what I have to find is, I have to find the range of hosts. See, the range of hosts will be very simple to find. I found the network address. Now see, what will be the range of hosts? How many bits do I have in my subnet ID? How many bits do I have in my subnet ID? See, this is 28 bits. There are 28 bits in my network ID. I have, see, this is IPv4. I have a total of 28 ones, which represent my block ID, right? Block ID or network ID. And how many do I have in my host ID? I have 4 zeros in my host ID. So 4 zeros in my host ID will give me a total of 2 to the power of 4 IP addresses. So I get 2 to the power of 4 IPs. That will be 16 IPs. So I get a total of 16 IPs. Now out of these 16 IPs, the first IP address will be for the network address and the last IP address will be for the directed broadcast address. So what is the range that we are getting? Since it's 16 IPs, so this is my first IP address. So this is 192. I'm trying to find the range. .168.10.32. This is the first one. So if you add another 15 IP addresses, what you get is 192.168.10.47, right? So if you subtract 32 from 47, what you get is 15, and since you are considering both limits, you have to add 1, so you get 16, right? So 47 minus 32 is 15, 15 plus 1, 16, yes. So this is the range of IP addresses given the subnet mask. Given this subnet mask, this is the range of IP addresses. And out of this range, we are asked to find the number of valid hosts, the range of valid hosts, mind you. This is the range of valid IP addresses. Out of this range of valid IP addresses will give away 2 IP addresses. One for the network ID. So this IP address, the first one, that is being used for the network address. And the last one, that is 192.168, this part. 192.168.10.47. This part is being used for the directed broadcast address. This is my directed broadcast address. So how many IP addresses am I left with? Out of 16, if I take away 2, I am left with 14 IP addresses, and that will represent the number of valid hosts, the range of valid hosts. So the range of valid hosts will come to be the range of valid hosts. I'll just erase this part. I hope you have noted them down. Now the range of valid hosts, just erase this part. The pangs of having a small whiteboard. The range will now come to be 192.168.10.33. The first one, this one, has been used up for network address. So this is my first valid host to 192.168.10. This is my last address, last IP address, which is being used for directed broadcast address. So the previous one will be my last valid host. So the previous one is 46. So this is my range of valid hosts. This is the range of valid hosts. Okay, so we have found the network address, the directed broadcast address, as well as the range of valid hosts. We also found, mind you, the number of IP addresses that are present given the subnet mask. Okay, so I hope this helps. Thank you.